So meal and rest breaks. We'll start with meal breaks. The basic lay of the land has been pretty clear since the Supreme Court decision in Brinker about 10 years ago. For your non-exempt employees who work more than 5 hours in a day must be provided a 30-minute unpaid meal period before the end of their 5th hour of work. And if they work more than 10 hours in a day, must be provided a second unpaid 30-minute meal period before the end of their 10th hour of work. One quick note is really important for employers to understand: before the end of the 5th hour of work, make sure you get that calculation right. We see, a lot of times employers mistakenly have, 5 hours and 45 minutes of work, and then they took their break. Is that before the end of the 5th hour of work? It's not. Make sure before, the example here, if someone started at 8 a.m., they need to start that 30-minute meal period before 12:59 p.m., before the end of the 5th hour of work. Couple points on that. The employer's duty is to provide a meal period and to make that available for the employee to take. The Supreme Court said that the employer does not have a duty to police meal periods, meaning you don't have to actively make sure and force them to take meal periods. You only have to provide that and make sure that they have the opportunity to take it, both in terms of policy and actual practice that they can take it. The meal period breaks are unpaid, but they do need to be recorded in your timekeeping system, the start and end dates. We do recommend that you should have a complaint procedure for employees and that they're aware of, that they sign and acknowledge what your meal and rest break policy is and how they can lodge any complaints if they don't receive their meal and rest breaks. And then it's important, we'll talk about a little bit later what the premium payments are, but you do need to have a policy for paying missed breaks and recording accurately and separately that these premiums are paid. Really important to keep in mind that for the 30-minute meal period and for the rest breaks, the employees need to be relieved of all duties and free to leave the premises. You have to relinquish all control over them. They can go as they please. That wasn't always that clear in the law, so we see a lot of legacy policies that require employees to remain on premises or remain available. Just understand now that the trend in the law is they need to be relieved of all duty and free to leave the premises. A lot of employers, especially in the restaurant industry, really kind of, I think, want to implement meal periods and comply with the requirements, run into trouble with, as it's getting timed closer to the end of the 5th hour, the shift happens to be, really busy. Maybe that's, the prime dinner shift or whatever it is. One way that employers can manage that is, the requirement is not that they have to take it in the middle of that 5-hour period or at the end tail of the 5-hour period. It's just the sole requirement is before the end of the 5th hour of work. And so you can use an early lunch. We have some employers who, after an hour of the employee being on shift, if it's slow, you can send the employee off to take their meal break. There's no requirement that you have to let them take it closer to the end. And it can be a good thing to help you manage that in terms of the flow of your work in your business.